right. So, I wish I would have had more room for that. Plenty of room. Yeah, this is comfortable. I just heated up the garage too, and now I can't move the car over. So I have the, I believe it's the standard power seat. There's 3 seats that I looked in the manual. The shop manual said there's 3 seats. There's the manual seat, there's the electric seat, and then there's a sport seat. So I believe this is just the regular, the standard option seat, not the sport one. Here's my plug way back here. Now, the bad news is every single clip around it, supposed to be a clip here, I believe, and a clip here, is gone. So that means this has been in and out of here a couple times already. So I probably could just pull on it and it'll come apart. Yep, see? That's wonderful. So who knows what I'm gonna find. Okay, let's pull this seat out. Here's the full carnage down here. It's just dirty. Nothing crazy. Hey, a fuse, yes. All right, let's go frick with that seat. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to just check to see if the motors even work at all before I start applying power to it. And the way to do that is to actually just do a check of resistance. And if I have resistance, then the motor windings aren't burned out, so they might work. So my colors are different for some reason. Maybe I have the wrong seat in here and someone switched it on me. That is not out of the realm of possibility. So basically what you have is here when you're looking at this, all these wires here, these are all the wires coming out of the switch. So these are the color of the wires that you should have underneath your seat. So I'm supposed to have red with green and yellow with green, but I do not. But I can just sit here and look at this and just go, hey, look, here's a motor here. It has these 2 wires on it. Bam, good enough. And then I can tell what's going on. So I need to check the resistance between each one of these pairs. So I have this pair hooked up right now, and I have 1 ohm. So hopefully that one's okay. I already tested the rest of them. So like say if I test that one, whoops, and same thing, it's pretty low. So next I'm going to try to apply power to them and then see what happens. Alright, so the way that this works is the switch flips the polarity, so it doesn't really matter what the polarity is. It'll swap negative to positive, positive, negative. It'll go one direction and the other. So I don't know, let's test this out and see what happens. Okay, wish me luck. Okay, not sure what that means. Maybe that's all the way that direction. Let's try the other one. Hey, it's moving. Yes, that's forward. Okay, and that's the end. Move it back to where it was. Oh, that's not good, right? Okay, so the motor might be okay. Maybe there's something with this gear assembly. I don't know. So there's one. Let's go through and test these other ones and see what happens. That is not promising at all. Might be something wrong with the seat. That did something. So this is that's like the, oh jeez. Oh. This is not good at all. Seems like the motors are working. You think it would stop? Well, it moved a lot before that. Now let's try this other motor and see what happens. Well, We got some work to do, obviously. Well, this is not good at all. Okay, so here we are, the forward and backwards motor. Motor's fine. So what I just figured out is if I reposition this thing, the thing that's spinning into the gears. Wait, is that all the way back, maybe? It might be all the way one direction. Yeah, see, now it moves. So that's not good. So that means that the motors are fine and this frickin' gear assembly thing's all trashed. Ugh. Well, this is where I'm at with my seat. My seat is not going to work. So I looked it up, and there is, on Corvette Central, they have a rebuild service that you can use. Same thing with like the headlights, because I have the Generation 1 headlights, because I have an 87, and those motors are harder to get. Same thing, but I have the late model seat. So 87 split in two. So there's a round plug and a square plug. And I have the square plug. So that's good. That means I can get the late model one, which it's the same price. I found a guy on eBay that's selling these already refurbished, ready to go with no core for $230. So I just bought one because this transmission is foobarred, and I don't want to take it apart and work on it because it would be impossible. And I can also hang on to this power assembly and maybe fix it myself and put it on the passenger side. And then I can have power seats on both sides. Or I could have just replaced this bottom assembly with a standard one and then not have to worry about it. But I like the electric seats because they're fun. So next is to diagnose the switch to see if the switch is bad, which it probably is. Because if it was working, I would have heard this thing clicking like it is now. So I'm sure the switch is bad too. But I'm just going to check the connections really quick and verify that they don't work. And then I'm going to be done for the day. Alright, well, I just got out of the car and checked all the stuff. Moving this over to put some light on it. So I checked everything and none of them work correctly. Some of them are the front one. The front up and down motor, this front up and down motor, this is the only one that's even kind of doing anything with the switch. I think if I move it down, it works. But if I let it go and have it in its resting position, it has power as well, which it's not supposed to do. So I'm pretty sure all those switches are bad. Alright, so what I want to do now is get to these switches and that switch, because I'm going to look at the power windows as well. But I need to get to these switches, test them all. I'm sure they're all bad. Maybe fix them, but at the worst, I need to replace them. So in order to replace those, I need to get this panel out. Well, to get this panel out, there's only 4 screws. It's really super simple. You know, there's a couple screws down here and 2 screws right here. Oh, okay, so that means I need to take this panel out here, the center console panel out. Well, that's easy. There's just some screws holding it together. There's 2 screws here, and there's 1 screw on this side. You know, that may look different depending if you have the dash pad or not. And a screw on this side. Oh, wait. Oh, dang, that's underneath the console, too. So I have to take the console out as well. So that's my sarcastic way of saying I need to take out the console cover, center console cover, and then I can finally get to this cover. So here we go. Okay, so before you get this dash out, you have to, the cluster cover out, you have to get this knob off. Most GM vehicles, there's a button you press on the actual headlight and it will pull the whole shaft out. So on the switch assembly, there's a button you push. This doesn't. It actually just the cap comes off. So this is where it normally is. So if you spin it around, you'll see this little notch right here. I'm gonna pull this out to park so I can get to it a little bit easier. So all I need to do is just get a screwdriver in here and see where this little notch is right there, and just pull forward on it and it'll pop right off. So let me show you how simple that is. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Wham! Comes off that easily. So now that I have that all disassembled, this will just, come forward just like that. Huh. How am I supposed to do that? Oh, here we go. It's getting, ow! That's where it's getting caught. It's getting caught on my padded dash. There it goes. There we go. That little corner was stuck on the padded dash. There we go. Whammo! Now it's out. So now I gotta get I think one more screw here on the side, and then just these couple screws here and there and there and there, and then this part will come out. 2 more screws up here that go into the dash cover, the dash pad. There. Of course it's gonna bounce out. The nice thing about stainless steel is they don't work in the magnetic trays at all. That's called sarcasm. There you go. Screw's still here. I never took this screw out on the side. Okay. There, now the screws are out. Now it should pop out. There we go. Look at that. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. And even with a dash pad, it's just as easy to get this side off. The tricky side is this side because you have to get the instrument cluster cover out. Now I have access to this one. So now just 2 bolts here, or screws, screw, and the 2 underneath, and that should be it on that. Okay, all these screws are out. The bezel is now loose, but there's one more thing I need to do in here, and I need to remove the shift knob. So that's a pretty simple process. See if I can get this in a good shot where you can see it. Okay, so the button just lifts right up. What? Feels like it's gonna break. Button pops off, button off. And then inside of it is a C-clip. There's a C-clip down in there, and you gotta get that C-clip off, and then the knob will come off. So it's just as equally as challenging to put it back together. Okay, got that snap ring loose. Of course, there's a snap ring tool you can use to get that off. That would be much easier if I had one of those. It's basically 2 long needles on the end of a pair of pliers. But what I did was just got it lined up to where, if I could see down here where this notch was, and then kind of pried it off. So it's hard to describe, but that's how I got it off. Now this will pop off. Make sure the clip you keep in a nice safe place. So I'm keeping all my screws in one tray down there. Now that should come right off, right? Alright, so I'm pulling it towards me because the cigarette lighter cylinder is in the way down here. So this is on a plug. Oh, come on. Oh, there we go. I can get to it this way. Oh, light. Yeah. Plug. Oh, come on. There we go. Plug disengaged. Okay. This plug just snaps off. My light, I have the correct light. It's been repaired. I made the wires longer because it was hooked to this back one. Okay, I still need to get this panel out of the way. I'm pretty close. I can see where I need to get to here to get to the switches. Screw out. Those are 7mm. And to get the lock off of the latch part of the lock off of the lock cylinder. That's 8mm. And then 1 screw right there. There's 1 screw down here, but it's not coming. Where I think I'm really stuck is down here at my seat belt. So once I get this seat belt off, it's gonna probably pop right out. But it's on there really good. So I don't have any 3/8 sockets that will fit onto this 5/16 bit thing, because yeah, that's 5/16, right? Yeah, 5/16. So I'm gonna use a cheater bar on my little baby 1/4" ratchet and hope for the best. Now my guess is this bit is gonna break, but we'll see. Oh, come on. Oh, it moved. Oh, it's going. That's a lot of torque. Oh, okay, it's coming. Yay, it didn't break. So So that's a T50 that's on here. I just did this on my Fiero. Took the seat belts out, and it was the same exact size. But man, they were not in there this hard. This has probably never been out of here. Oh, look at that. It's rusted. That'll do it. That's why we're having an issue. Okay, so I got a screw that's not coming out right here. So I'm going to get a long screwdriver down behind here and try to push it forward. Here it comes. It's moving now. Oh, it's just going to break. It broke. Damn it. All right, well, it's off. Okay. More free money. Ooh, 50-cent piece. Little baby wrench. Look at this little baby wrench in here. 13/64. Oh, this is a quarter. So now I'm hoping I can move this gently enough forward. I can get to the rest of these screws because I think it's screwed on in another location in the footwell up here somewhere. I'm pretty sure I'm not the one that tore this. I think this was already torn. There's the screw right there that I need to get out. This is dumb. All right, now we got some room. Look at all that room now. Look at all this fun stuff down there. So that's that screw that broke. Unfortunately, it's stripped into there. So I'll have to fix that when I put this back together. So yeah, technically you do need to take the seat out of here to get to this stuff, because that would be a bit of a bear to get to. So I looked in the shop manual and I found the illustrations on how to remove this, but I could not find the directions on how to remove this. But the illustration showed that there's a screw and there's a cover and there's the screw. So that's that screw and those two screws in front there, here, and there. And then I can get the center console out, because yeah, I can easily get to the power seat switch, but I'm never going to get to that switch for the power mirrors. Okay, we're really close. We're making progress here. Got the two screws done out of the front. Got the screw out of there. It's loose, but I have to do the same exact thing on the other side where there's these two 7mm screws I need to take off, and they're underneath the door. So now I have to take my door off, and I've just replaced this door, so don't give me grief of why these screws are in the wrong place. It was all broken and jacked up, so this is better than it was, and this is a replacement used door. This will move. You have to probably remember there's like 18 years of big gulps stuck inside of this thing. Okay, that's loose. Okay, so how does this cover come off? You just pull on it. There. So this is how I repaired my armrest. All the original screws were broken, except for two. So I put a new one there in the middle. Never put one there, but it's working okay with 3. But 4 would be better, so I would just need to install another one over here as well. But then I also have to drill a hole in the bracket and blah, blah, blah. I might do that on reassembly this time. Okay. Well, that's clipped underneath. Ah! Broke that. Oh, there's a frickin' screw. Damn it, I didn't see this screw. This is what happens when you get frustrated. Go too fast. Damn it, I just broke that screw. Or broke a pin off. There. Okay. That seems to be wiggling. I think we got it actually. Yeah, I bet it is. Yeah, it's right here. Frick, this is broken too? Oh, it's just getting worse. I didn't do that. Oh, so much to fix in here. It's broken off. I didn't do that. Maybe I did. I don't know. Okay. There. Got that out. Woo-hoo-hoo. Now we're making progress. Okay. 5,000 more switches to remove. I gotta remove the backs of these switches, and I want to do it carefully because they're kind of old and brittle. So I'm gonna take a minute. All right, so there it is, pulled out. Took me less than 2 hours to get that out. That would have been much quicker if I would have known about all those screws underneath there, and I didn't need to futz around with this too much, especially that screw down there. But you know, if I just wanted to get to the switch assembly, that would have been the easier way to do it. Frickin' frick! How terrible is this? Oh, this cannot be the right way to get this switch off. Oh, don't break this damn harness, man. Oh, it goes the other way around. The pins are part of it. Oh, it broke off. Obviously broke that one. There we go. So this is what I'm looking at underneath here. Golly. So it looks like there's a retainer holding that pin, and that's why that pin ripped out of the bottom of that. There's a pin here too. All right, here we are several weeks later, back to this. Now I've ordered new switches. I'm pretty sure these switches are toast. They just don't even feel good at all. But I got some used ones, a whole set of them. But I'm just going to replace all these switches since I know the wiring is good. But I even asked on Facebook and looked around online, and I could not find out how to get these out. Now that has to be a common thing, right? Because people are pulling these switches out and replacing them all the time. So I don't know why this isn't documented. So it looks like there's enough room. This is the one that I broke off, so I'm going to start with this one. It looks like there's enough room in here, and this is kind of soft rubber. You can get underneath it and maybe just, you know, bend this thing around enough. I mean, it's moving around a lot because it's not in the switch. I think I need to do something like that and just slowly keep bending it, and maybe it will break off on its own. Almost got this stupid thing out. Oh, come on, you. Oh, jeez Louise. It's so in there. There. Wow. Got that out. All right. So I'm guessing there's only 2 connections on here, and it's just up and down. So it must get that from these. So it must need to be grounded to send the signal out in the middle, maybe, or something. It has to be grounded like that, too. All right, let's pull this middle one off. See if it will move. Jeez. Ugh. Oh, that's great. Well, this is what I got here, and it looks Pretty beat up. Am I missing another pin here? Is that pin stuck in the thing? I don't know. Let me go look at what a new one looks like. That pin probably pulled out of there. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4 connections that are actually doing electrical work. And I guess the rest of these are retainers and grounds or something. Or that's where it sends power along this whole plate. I don't know. I found that pin. It was in this. It's in this thing melted all together, where that big hole is here directly in the middle. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is shot, and I'm gonna have to order a replacement harness. So it popped right out really easy, so it's a good thing I got this side piece out and all that. So I was able to get underneath the carpet and just pull it through this hole right here. All right, here's something that I want to demonstrate. The one that I pulled out, that's just completely fallen apart, and a good one that someone knew how to pull out properly. So if you ever do try to pull these switches out, really the only way to do it is the whole entire system, because there's like 2 layers of this junk, this metal on these switches. So there's this bottom plate, which it looks like it's this. So there's a bottom plate underneath that, and then this insulating material, and then another piece on top of it. So yeah, what you really want to do is get all these switches out at once, prime from the very, very, very bottom of that, and leave the connector behind. I couldn't do that with mine because it's all melted and corroded and just garbage, so I couldn't figure out how to take it apart, and it fell apart as I took it out. So to tear this thing out in one giant unit, not so bad, and then you can mess with these switches and try to replace them one at a time, because they do not sell this backing part. I don't know what we're going to do when these things run out. This is the inside of my old one, and you can see that, you know, part of that piece of metal that is supposed to be connected with the switches is still melted into this thing. I mean, it is melted into it. That's how bad this thing got and how hot it was. So this harness is probably absolutely no good, but I'm going to hang on to it anyways because you just never know. Because my switches are no good and my wiring harness connector is completely melted, I just went ahead and got a whole used set off of eBay where the switches and the wiring harness is still connected in one unit. Unfortunately, I could not find any aftermarket suppliers for the wiring harness, and I couldn't find any aftermarket suppliers that made the little metal grid connection thing for the switches either. You can buy the switches, but you can't buy the other 2 pieces you need for it. So thank goodness it's still available on eBay, where you can find people that are selling the entire harness with the switches built into it. And I just went ahead and went that route because my stuff was just too melted and too far gone. Okay, here we go. So after all this time, I finally have the switch and wire harness hooked up. I still had to have an adapter for it because this is out of a different year car, and that plug-in for the power supply is slightly different. So the guy was nice and cut it off and gave me the pigtail for the other end, so I just used some spade connectors to do that. So let's see, let's move a button. Yay, look at that. That's front, and then front down. Heck yeah, back. Nice. Back down. Ooh, look at it go. Look at it go all the way down. Nice. And then center. Both up. Forward. Backwards. Forward. Down. Yes. Okay. So everything works on that. Yay! All right, here it is installed. It's raised all the way up as well. So just want to look at this one last time because it is just beautiful. This thing looks like it's brand new. So this is reconditioned, but man, it looks brand new. It's even re-riveted and everything. So the guy that rebuilt this thing sure went through a lot of work to make this thing brand new. And of course, you know, the only thing that really goes wrong with it is the transmission and those gears. These things all break apart and everything because it's kind of one solid plastic unit. I saw some guy repairing it. But you can't get these bushings. So unless you know how to CNC stuff or whatever, you're not going to be able to rebuild this on your own. So this is remanufactured. I believe it was a guy named F Parts on eBay. And it was like $220, $230, something like that, which is the same cost as everybody else, but no core. So I'm going to keep my core and maybe one day rebuild it and put it on the passenger side. But there you go. Now I got to put the shell on and put the cushions in.